Hear ye, the king is here, the king is here, hear ye. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll get on with the review now. The king is here.
Oh, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. The king is most definitely here. I have been waiting for this figure for some time, and these missing link guys just keep getting better and better. I obviously start out with C-01, and it's obviously, I guess it's difficult to see with Optimus Prime because, you know, there's no real chroming, or there's not a lot of chroming going on with it. But when you start to see what Takara Tomy can do with these things, it's just basically almost above like masterpiece level. And when we get onto articulation, like you'll see this guy has got as good, if not better, articulation than the masterpiece as well. It's amazing bits of engineering, and do you know what I love when you see figures like this so well engineered that you wonder why there are figures out there that require like 30 to 40 steps to transform, because these things are just like pure joy. To move, to pose, to transform, they are just, yeah, they're just absolutely excellent. But yeah, let's have a quick look into the packaging first. Very nice, classically basic. Gives you a very small hint about how to transform this guy. And a fantastic battle scene on the back, again. And then his stats there, if you need that. Also a very nice set of stickers, and all of the cards and instructions. It's just literally it's a little mini masterpiece, this thing. Would it be wrong to use these stickers on something else? Probably. But they're so nice. And then getting onto the made dude himself. I do love this very, very simple packaging. Love the polystyrene, and very, very well presented. But yeah, let's get him out here. So just going to be a quick shimmy. And here we have him. And as you can hear, like with a lot of these figures, there are ratchet joints all around this guy. Really clicky, really solid. But the main star of the show is basically this incredible paintwork and sculpting detail. I mean, look at this around the chest area. Absolutely remarkable. And then all the way down his back. Feels like there's a little bit of die cast in here as well, but this is all beautifully chrome painted. Of course, this wasn't done on the original figure as well. And then look at this. Absolutely amazing. And that head sculpt. And if you want to get a size, an idea of scale here, let's just put him down there. And I'll bring in my Legends Grimlock. As you can see, they are actually pretty similar in size. The Grimlock is obviously, the missing link guy is scaled differently, so he's kind of chunkier, but they are actually very, very similarly sized. Maybe, yeah, missing link's probably a little bit bigger, but I wouldn't say like Deluxe or Voyager sort of size. Really, really manageable in size, this guy. But yeah, I mean, if that's the only criticism is Takara Tomy, we would love more of this. We would love a bigger version of this. Or if there's any third parties out here that can do that, yeah, we just want more of this guy because it's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, let's just show you the the articulation, which is also brilliant. So his little dino arms, obviously fully rotatable. You've got movement there at the bicep. You've also got a shoulder movement, which is incredibly cool. The hands can't move, but all of this is polished metal. So I mean, like, it absolutely pops on camera. Let's see, have you got a bit of movement on the tail? Yeah, you can move the tail up as well. But the legs is where it's all about, so you can move them out to the side. And you've even got some thigh swivel there as well. Absolutely brilliant. No tilt on this mode, but it's rare that you get a Grimlock with that, but you can move all of the toes. Look at that there. Even individually. There's not even many masterpieces or high-end knockoffs that I've seen that can do that. So, yeah. Amazing. This is a bit strangely positioned actually, because yeah, it just seems to be naturally coming off, but that is the only minor issue. Other than that, this guy is just absolutely fantastic.
Oh, hello.
Okay, so let's now take a look at all of the accessories this guy comes with, and there is quite a lot actually. Considering this tiny little box, it is a great selection of stuff. Very, of course, similar to a lot of the other Missing Link figures, but I always love the way they kind of start things off with their kind of like merch. Little fold-up piece tells you everything else that you can get in this series, but love that. Cybertron versus Destron. So legit. And then of course you got his infrared, so you can see his stats on the back of the box. Nice little character card. Of course the instructions. I know we do see a little bit of, not so much love around these, but you know, I love the fact that they actually include these. You still get the stickers, because I don't think they necessarily believe that you will use them on this character. In fact, I don't think it's even possible with the amount of sculpting detail they've put on them, but you can use them on any other Transformer figure that you've purchased. So they give you some very nicely made, beautifully done stickers. And then of course we got his classic hand blaster. None of this is painted, but and then his missile launcher. And then my personal favourite, this absolutely stunningly painted chrome sword. Not accurate to the original, but when it's done this well, just look at the gleam on that. I honestly don't care. I will be displaying with this 100%. And then some equally stunning chrome missiles. And then last but not least, the Diaclone pilot, which they have miraculously also managed to put some chrome paint on the front. So an absolutely, yeah, remarkable little figure, which also has articulation. You can move the legs, move the arms. Absolutely brilliant. Of course, the main reason for this is because we can put him in his little pilot seat. So we're just going to pop this back here. Get him into the seating position. And in he goes.
Would you like butter on that, sir?
Okay, so now onto the transformation. And this is 100% my favourite part about these figures. I mentioned before that there is just kind of like pure joy with these figures, and it's just because they are just so simple to transform, and I think almost in a way that's been lost over the years. You see the way that these amazing new Robo-Sen figures transform, and they're incredibly simple. They're not overly complicated, and now we have some figures which have got like sort of 50, 60, 70 steps to transform them in this quest to make them look as screen accurate as possible. But the thing that you lose with that is the fun and the joy of playing with these things. And I know that sounds pathetic, but yeah, I think that's the most fun part with them. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start by splitting the tail, and then we'll move this down to the side. We're then going to apply a little bit of pressure to kick up the feet, like that. And then what I like to do, let's just zoom in a little bit more there. Perfect. I then like to anchor his arms to the ground, and you can literally get him to stand up into his robot mode. And of course right now he just looks like a robot with a gigantic T-Rex head. So we are now going to split here, move the head around the back, bring the head up, and then we're just going to swing the chest piece into position. I know there's another mode you can do with this head, but I'm just going to skip right to the good bit. So you can now see articulate his head. So he's now got a proper forward-facing head sculpt. And then now we're just going to move these up into position like that. Bring his arms down. And these probably require about the most bit of force in the entire transformation. Get those into place. Which then exposes the full arms and hands. And there we have, oh actually, one last bit. So of course with this incredible articulation comes not only feet that you can actually move fully away from the lower half of the legs, but also allows you to bring in a stabilizer for his heel, so it stops him from toppling backwards. So now we can get him stood up really well. And voila! So now we have our fully assembled Missing Link Grimlock robot mode. And this is where we can see more of that stunning gold chrome paint exposed, and I'd think even more details. It turns it up to 11 again on this. Look at all of that extra detail on the top there. Amazing. Obviously a lot of this we've already seen in the dyno mode, but this guy just really comes together. But then of course now, the main magic of this guy is the articulation. Now that we've got everything in place, so as long as you get the wings out of the way, his arms could do a full 360 degrees with fantastic clicky ratchet joints. You've even also still got his articulated toesies. Just crazy, but I love it. And then, if I can get my little prizer tool here, we can bring out hinged fingers. There we go. And then of course, thanks to the dino legs, you've got massive elbow bend and bicep swivel. The legs are a little bit more limited, but just because of this backpack, that's as far back as his legs will go. What's cool is, if I get in here, you can see they've given you this other little micro joint, which can almost simulate an ab crunch. But you can kick him up that far. And you've got thigh swivel. And then the feet are where some incredible engineering is done, and this is like beyond even masterpieces, where you've obviously got like loads of ankle tilt, but also the feet can angle forward and backwards. So it's an absolute brilliant level of articulation on this guy. You couple that in with all of this detail, it is just, it's worth every penny. Absolutely brilliant little figure. So here we have my Legend Scale Grimlock. You see he's ever so slightly taller than the Legends version. Missing link. Optimus Prime. Stand, damn you. There we go. A delightful crew together. Obviously, I touched on this a little bit earlier, is that I guess the only thing that I would like more from this is more of the figure, because it just seems kind of strange that you've got Optimus Prime taller than Grimlock for me in toy form, but I'm guessing this is nice and accurate to the original, but I would have loved him to just be oversized a little bit more. Maybe one of the third-party KO companies will do that for us, and we'll get to see this guy maybe a little bit larger, making a little bit more accurate scaling to the show and the movie. But I think this whole video has just proven that the master selling point of these figures is just their playability, the ease of transformation. It transports all of us back to the 1980s when you pick these guys up. They are fantastic, they are for the fans, they are everything that all of us love about Transformers, and yeah, just get out there and collect as many of these guys as you can, because they are worth every single penny.
Okay, see you later, bye-bye.